It's time for an upcycle 11 ways that I use belts around my house, and none of them involve wearing them. Check it out.
Let's start with a broken thrifted lampshade and a brown belt. I just cut the belt into pieces, hot glued it around the top and the bottom of the lampshade, took out the inner pieces of the lampshade, and slid my plant right in. To make sure I use the rest of it, I had the little piece with the buckle left over, and I decided to make a new luggage tag with that piece. Next up works for either a belt or even a purse strap. I found this stool thrifting that I really loved, and I had a piece at home very similar to it. So what I wanted to do is bring this home and turn it into this. I wanted it to have the same look. Black legs and brown leather, and of course I love the caning. So I gave the legs a good coat of paint, I cleaned up the top, and then I took this brown leather strap and I wrapped it around the edge of the bar stool and just glued it into place with some E6000, making sure the back edge was nice and even and the two pieces meet so you can't even tell. It wasn't always meant to be like that. It's actually pretty much a perfect match. So remember, you can take thrifted pieces and give them new makeovers to look like things that you already have, and belts are a great way to do this with accents. Next up, this thrifted laundry basket and this awesome secondhand retro rug with a piece of belt. I decided to cover this entire basket with this rug, and then if you look on the top, what is that? That is a piece of belting that I attached to the top to make an awesome little handle. I love using brown leather belts as napkin rings. I think they have the coolest vibe. It reminds me of the 90s. And it's really fun just to cut them up, use a little bit of E6000 glue, attach them, and then I use some clips to hold them together while they dry. And that's it. You can make a ton of these, usually 4 to 5 out of one large belt. And then you've got a whole new set of really pretty napkin rings. Also take decorative pieces of belt and drill them into pieces of furniture to make very cool handle pulls. Then taking a couple of thrifted belts and crisscrossing them and placing a plant on top, measuring it out where the leather needs to come up on these sides. Then you can trim it off, fold it over with a little bit of glue, and use a little bit of twine to wrap it up. You can actually make the coolest plant hangers. Super simple, easy DIY. Takes you maybe 10 minutes to do this. And if you like the boho vibe, this one is definitely for you. Who says you can't use a belt and actually trim it down to fit your dog and make a dog collar? I made this one for one of our German Shepherds, Sammy, and I think she looks very cute in it, and she likes it a lot. Obviously, belts were meant to be wrapped around things, but did you ever think about hanging them around art or maybe even a circular mirror like this one? Just take a little bit of hot glue, adhere the belt around the edge, and then you can use the top of the belt to actually hang it with. Don't forget, belts make great accents wrapped around pillows. You could do it buckle out, buckle hidden, and also great to do one on each side of a bench. That's always a really cool look. Of course, you can wrap them around baskets and use them as planters. And then last but not least, one of my favorites, you can make outdoor hanging solar lanterns. All I did for this lantern was take one brown leather thrifted belt and a pickle jar and a solar cap off of a solar light, warm light, of course. These are from Walmart. They're the super cheap ones. And I just cleaned up the pickle jar, cut the belt up, wrapped a piece around it, and then used the other two pieces to come up the top and glued it all in place, and then glued my solar light into place, and that was it. That's as easy as it is to make a hanging pickle jar solar lantern using a belt. So that is a ton of great, fun, easy, simple ways for y'all to use this thrifted belt. Have some fun with it. Happy upcycling.